Okay, it is time for Toriko. Back to Toriko, not Starjun this time, but
La la la.
we'll get to him soon enough, hopefully. Um, a lot of
Pretty
shit
cool.
happened in this chapter.
A
A
lot of
lot.
exposition.
A lot of exposition, and then just what the fuck at the end. So let's jump in somewhere.
Well, at the beginning.
Yeah. Um,
Where
I guess we can talk a little bit about the whole meaning of the nitro and how that came out. And it is definitely, if the etymology is correct, based on what Kaka said, it is pronounced nitro because ni is two and tro
but
for
for us,
trolls.
but unfortunately for us Americans, it's nitro.
Yeah, I think it is supposed to be nitro though, but whatever. Um,
So
I just
yeah.
thought that was interesting. Like they're like trolls apparently, just created from gourmet cells, and they've been
Well,
living for like a million years.
millions,
Yeah,
not a million, millions.
yeah, plural. Ouch.
Damn, that they must have been really lonely.
Yeah, I'll say.
So we starts off by explaining how when the gourmet cells first arrived, there was massive changes in the Earth's crust, and as a way of signifying the beginning of the cooking process.
Uh
And
huh.
then soon after, giant meteors crashed onto the Earth, volcanoes erupted, and there were ice ages as a way of part of the cooking process to help draw out the Earth's most best flavor.
Right.
And one of these things, parts of these cooking process, is the gourmet solar eclipse.
Which presumably might be the last
Well,
part of the
the
cooking.
ones that have the ones that happen over the years.
Hmm.
I believe in the last chapter it was referred to as like a temperature change,
Yeah.
which sometimes happens when you're cooking certain dishes.
Yeah.
So now we have confirmation that Coco, or what Coco saw when he was fighting in the Gourmet Island arc, that was the he literally saw the Earth's flavor.
Oh, yeah, that was when he was fighting Grimparch, right?
Grimpatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, according to what it seems like in this chapter, the flavor of the Earth is the 8 ingredients of Akashi's full course, which we'll get to a little later.
Yep.
Um, so, the gourmet cells are basically cause the Earth to swell in size and expand while amplifying the Earth's flavor.
Right.
And apparently, the Earth, since the gourmet cells has arrived, has become 650 times larger. Yeah, 659 times larger.
Yeah. Which, if
Pretty
if
big.
if the initial size of the Earth was like our Earth, that's massive. I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see.
Presumed. Of course, the chefs try to make sense of it, saying, "Oh, it's like the yeast is Earth is bread, and that yeast is causing the Earth to grow."
Right.
But it's kind of a little different than that. And then Kaka's like, "Well, this is where Kaka explains that the Earth's flavor sometimes seeps out through the cracks of the surface and becomes one of the 8 ingredients."
Right.
And of course, it's not we find out it's not Akashia's full course. It's the planet's full course.
Hmm. Bastard taking it all for himself,
Yep.
naming it.
Now, this is also where we find out who has been cooking the Earth. Because Toriko's like, wait a minute, Akashi decided on these items in his full course just a few hundred years ago, which mind boggles me. Because remember, that then once again puts an age on friggin' people like Jiro and all them.
Hmm.
They're a few hundred years old, friggin' pulling some Master Roshi shit.
Right.
And then he said, wait a minute. If he decided it only a couple hundred years ago, yet these ingredients have existed on the planet for a million years, who's been cooking the planet? Well, lo and behold, the blue nitro,
Uh huh.
with the assistance of their slaves, the red nitro. And they go on to explain that the nitro, or nitro, as they're supposed to be pronounced, are troll monsters that
Mhm.
are born from gourmet cells. Sort of, kind of, like gourmet cells themselves taking on a form, as opposed to latching on to another being and then changing that being.
Exactly. Which does sort of make sense when we talk about the whole demon thing, which I guess we'll get to pretty
Next.
soon.
Well,
Yeah.
no, that's the very next thing they talk about. Because wait a minute, if the blue nitro are the manifestation of the appetite of gourmet cells, so then what are the monsters that dwell inside them? They're like, well, those are your appetite monsters, but they're more referred to as demons, devils, or onis, something like that.
Mhm.
And Toriko's like, wait a minute, does that mean that the monsters inside of us also have a red and blue of two different species? And then Kaka's like, well, I don't know. But I'm not even sure if we Nitro only have two species.
Right. But obviously now obviously it starts to make sense why Toriko had a second Oni in there,
Possibly, yes. Because if
and it
that's
happened to be blue.
red and blue happen to be the two demons he has.
Yep.
Now, some people say that, since, oh, if Kaka means that there's a possibility that there's more than two types species of Nitro, then that could explain the variety of gourmet demons inside the humans.
Right.
Now, they basically said, oh, asked the big question everybody's like asking, what are the Blue Nitro trying to accomplish by cooking the Earth?
Hmm.
Well, of course, the first, everyone's like, oh, well, obviously it must be to eat it, right?
Yeah,
Well,
that
yeah.
would be the first guess.
And that, yeah, she says, yeah, that is the first reason. But another reason arose. What? Nani? What else would you want from
Right.
cooking the Earth? Well, this has to relate with why the three chefs betrayed the Blue Nitro.
Mhm.
Because they discovered the reason. And that was Acacia,
Uh.
which apparently, lo and behold, first met the Blue Nitro in, you guessed it, Area 7, where they currently are at.
Mhm.
And this is, and I don't know if we knew this before, but apparently there were Blue Nitro assigned to each of the Earth's full course ingredients, and each had the code name based on the ingredient guarding.
Yeah, that was like it obviously wasn't confirmed, but we were kind of speculating because the one guy's name was Pear.
Yeah. So, and then we find out that, yes, once again they confirmed that the ancestor of the current Monkey King was the one who drank the soup pear dry, and then it became infused in his body,
Yeah. So now
causing
we
the,
have that answer,
and that
thankfully.
this is the reason why the capture method changed drastically.
Right. Now everything makes perfect sense.
And we find out that the pair, the Nitro pair, failed in the attempt to attain it through eating another beast.
Uh-huh.
And before he died, guess who comes up to see him? Acacia, who's suffering from the Sundrico's power.
I kind of
And
found
once
that
again,
funny.
yes, and once again, Acacia coming off looking all Coco-esque.
Yeah.
And seemingly having hair similar, at least in his younger days, to that of Sunny. I mean, one colored, but
True.
Every day, every chapter, every time we see Acacia, we get more and more, you know, I get the feel more and more the feeling that friggin' the four heavenly kings are like clones of friggin' Acacia.
Hmm. Maybe.
Because I mean, we've all joked around about how much he looks like Coco,
Uh huh.
but looking at seeing back in his younger days with in this particular chapter with the hair, I mean, his hair looks. I mean, I don't know, because not many characters seemingly have long hair in this series,
True.
from what I've noticed. Even the women have like pretty short hair, so
That's true.
which is why I feel like okay, this hair reminds me of Sunny, because I can't think of any other long-haired characters other than Midora,
Zombie.
which we already know is confirmed to be not related to Acacia.
Obviously.
So anyway, with both the Nitro pair and Acacia on the verge of death, they decide to eat a part of each other in order to not meet the condition of pair, in order to save their lives. And they succeeded. It was a success.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the Blue Nitro didn't expect Acacia's gourmet cell demon.
Yeah.
Now,
Which was the one.
are possibly, we don't know. It could be possible.
Hmm. Well, that was the thing. Is like they're saying like it was the one they were looking for.
And that this is why they do it. So it wasn't confirmed, but it's now heavily implied that the Akashia's gourmet demon is the Planet Eater.
Hmm.
Because that's the impression I'm getting,
Yeah.
that they're trying to hint that heavily.
So like, if we look at some retrospect, like I want to point out two different scenes. One was obviously the fact that last chapter when they said Akashi is waiting, could they just simply mean that his gourmet demon is waiting? Could that just be what that means, or is he really still alive? We don't know.
Which is all too possible.
And the second scene I want to bring up is um, with the Blue Oni. With remember when he was talking to the Red Oni, he talked like he knew Heracles, and
Uh-huh.
so like if gourmet demons can be revived, that's how that makes sense. Is the Blue Oni might have been in somebody else's body before and fought Heracles at a different time.
Which is explained in the very next thing that happens, where she says
Right.
that gourmet cells are more, or that both humans and Nitro are only vessels for the gourmet cells,
Hmm.
and that when the vessel dies, the gourmet cells become food spirits until they can find a new vessel and be reborn.
Right.
Hence, your previous statement.
Which is what I was just saying is since they can be revived, it seems very likely that the Blue Oni was once in somebody else who fought Heracles. Perhaps somebody we know or knew or come to find. Who knows? I
And
do think it's
then,
important though.
yes, also, after saying this, she says that the Blue Nitro, to further confirm your point, our earlier point about how the Planet Eater might be Akashia's demon, because she says that the Blue Nitro have continued to search endlessly for that monster.
Hmm.
And for millions and millions of years, they've had delicious ingredients at the ready and have been waiting patiently. And then they discovered that its location was inside of Acacia.
Yeah.
Yes, the revival of the monster that lurks within Acacia. That is the true goal of the Blue Nitro.
Hmm.
And before she can say anything else, some friggin' evil food spirit thing destroys, kills an already dead person,
Yeah.
which honestly shouldn't really surprise me anymore.
No.
Because I already figured that something was going to happen to force them to speed their, stop partying and move on to the next area. And,
Uh-huh.
and because now he's basically, not only did he kill her, but he basically, taunted them saying, "Now then, come, Akashia's seafood dish. Another is waiting."
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Oh," they go to try to help her, but he's like, "Nope, it's useless. I can't, I can't be touched." And he says basically everything would confirm what we were talking about and how, you're going to need master chefs in order to survive, prepare the fish treasure. Another.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, we also get Area 6's nickname, which is the Kitchen of the Food Spirits.
Uh-huh.
Which, what did I say before? Each ingredient is going to give you an advantage or help you in the next area. Pear allows you now, with having eaten pear, you can now see food spirits. And the next area is called Kitchen of the Food Spirits.
Right.
So once again confirming that you need each. I mean, I know they sort of mentioned it at the beginning of the Gourmet World arc, or saga, I should say, that you need to get each ingredient in order to move on. But this pretty much reconfirms that fact.
Yeah, I think you pretty
Each,
much nailed it there.
yeah, this reconfirms to the doubters that yes, each ingredient will give them something they need in order to survive and capture the next ingredient in the next area.
Mm-hmm.
So now, and then after he's basically calls them out and challenges them to come to the Area 6, he disappears. So pretty much that's the next chapter is the last chapter of the Area 7 arc.
Yeah.
Because then they'll leave. They're obviously going to leave as soon as the next chapter.
Yeah.
As to what type of camping monster they're going to get this time, probably going to be fish related again.
Uh-huh.
Because when they went to Area 8, they had the octopus. They went to Area 7 on a shark. So obviously, going into a sea continent, they're going to need some type of sea creature.
I wonder. Maybe like some kind of jellyfish that they can ride inside like the head or something.
They did that already. So he already had a
Oh,
jellyfish
right.
camping monster, Setsunos.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Maybe they'll do another one.
Maybe. But his mind is too creative for that.
True. Mitsutoshi's way too creative.
Also, there's still, remember, we have to also remember, there's still some other interesting things that they might not leave until the end of the next chapter, but they're definitely leaving. Because there's
Uh-huh.
still some things they have to work out. Like, not only do they have to get a camping monster to move on to the next area, but they have to figure out who else is going to join them.
Please don't let it be Bambina's shit.
No. It's not going to be Bambina's shit because it's not a water creature. I already told you.
But she never.
He
Just
used
don't
that
do
gag up.
something. Just don't do it.
He used that gag up already because the camping monster is presumably going to be them for a while.
True.
Because they were in the majority of the arc, or
Uh-huh.
present somewhere in the immediate area throughout the majority of the arc. So he's not gonna carry that over. I mean, God no.
I hope
He
not.
already got his joke out on that, so it's gonna be something different. And first of all, who are they gonna bring with them on the camping monster? Because apparently they're gonna need a lot of chef help in the next area, so they might be bringing the whole group with them, at least in this next area,
Right.
because they got a lot of chefs with them now, and it's presumed that they need that large amount of chef skill in order to handle the next area. So but that would be kind of unfortunate, especially since I don't think we need to, since we're going to be meeting up with Tengu Brunchy and Star June.
Hmm.
Plus, that would make the character roster in this next arc almost as cluttered as the Cooking Island arc.
True.
And I don't think, at least nothing to this point, has made me believe that the Area 6 story is going to be able to properly handle that many characters.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'd prefer it if it was a very small group.
I mean, obviously they don't know, or at least I don't think they know, that Tengu Brunchy and Star June are on their way, so they're not going to assume that Komatsu is going to be enough.
Right.
So who they bring with them? Don't know.
Hopefully it's not Zange because I know he's not a
Zange
chef,
is
but
not a chef.
I know he's not a chef, but he always finds a fucking way to come along. And so I really hope it's not him.
Well, presumably he's going to be spending the rest of his days with Bambina.
Hopefully. I'd rather see that just because like his novelty is worn off really quick.
Unless no, because I can see what obviously what I see with this whole thing with God and the whole final eclipse and all that. I see a big war type battle, and I can see the Eight Kings obviously joining in on that fight. So that
Uh-huh.
could be kind of like so. I could see Zonge just appearing again, like randomly in that arc, saying, "Oh, you remember I'm still here, and I'm
Uh-huh.
still female because I haven't been able to drink any more pear yet."
It's like I've been swallowing a lot, but unfortunately they
Now
didn't have any
remember,
pear.
Bambino hasn't. We've seen his genitals enough to know he doesn't have a dick.
Right. Maybe it only just pops out in certain times.
Why? When he when he ejaculates, his balls fall off.
How does he? Oh, never mind.
Exactly. So,
I was about to say something really stupid, but go on.
I was like, I haven't already said enough weird, stupid shit already.
Anyway, I mean, we covered. There was just so much crap in this chapter, and it was awesome. I thought this chapter was awesome.
Oh yeah, beyond.
For me, the best chapter of the week for the big three plus Toriko and Fairy Tail.
Yeah, we should since we review. We should lump them together and call them the Mystic Five.
The Mystic Five. True.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
There you go. Toriko had the best chapter this week out of the Mystic Five.
Yeah.